Hey, what's up, guys? EzPhil here again, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Duel. Today, I have two epic matches that I had right before the monthly reset against some really amazing Rush Deck players. Even though I had Phantom Sphere and Fracture, this match was still really intense. Right away, he takes one of my entry points and is about to take the other. He manages to bench my Fracture, but I still evolve it, which is really awesome. I can still long throw it if I need to. So my strategy usually against rush decks that don't have any ghost Pokemon is I like to take my own entry. This way I can still keep bringing my ghost Pokemon onto the field with Phantom Sphere. This strategy obviously works out much better if you're running a full ghost deck, but even if you're only running 3 ghost Pokemon, it's still worth it to run Phantom Sphere. So in this next part, thanks to Marshallow's ability, my Banette is able to survive this battle against Mega Lucario. It was a huge waste of a Mega Plate, but at least he used it up and I don't have to worry about him going Mega Lucario later on in the match, so that's good. So I finally start to advance. I take his entry point and I'm able to knock out his Resolute Keldeo form. So my opponent is finally starting to get backed into a corner. Right here, I just moved my Banette one step ahead because I wanted to protect my Marshadow just in case he decided to attack with Lucario. So instead of advancing any further, I decided to move back with my second Banette just to keep my Lucario safe from any surrounds. I then max revive my Drifloon and it's able to evolve because of Molting Energy. And then I start moving forward again. This time with Haxorus, I attack his Zoroark and knock him out pretty easily. So he decides to double chance, and both times he lands his wide attack against my knockoff. So he's getting pretty desperate now. As you can see, he backtracks with Keldeo Resolute form and he's able to get that gold on purple, which is really unfortunate for me, but oh well. I go Mega and take his right entry point again just to stop him from bringing Zoroark back onto the field. I attack and I'm able to curse him, which is awesome, and I actually go back and try to knock him out. I'm not sure if this was the best idea, but I still went ahead and did it anyways. I just wanted to exclude his Resolute Keldeo form, and he just keeps surviving my attacks, which isn't good for me. I was hoping to land another curse on that Zoroark to surround them, but that wasn't the case. But at least I was finally able to knock out that Resolute Keldeo form, which means that my opponent is now at a huge disadvantage. It wasn't the best idea attacking my Marshadow with Zoroark, because now I could attack his DOS without worrying about Zoroark popping in. Too bad that didn't matter much. My Marshadow still got knocked out. And instead of protecting his goalie, he decides to advance with Zoroark. In which case I decided to go a bit more defensive. Maybe a bit too much since I have 3 Pokemon near my goal. Here I'm just going ultra aggressive with my Mega Banette. I just want to land as many curse markers as I can to give me a more numerical advantage against my opponent. So I keep attacking, trying to break through his defense. He still hasn't been able to recover from the first Pokemon that I excluded. And there it is, I managed to curse my opponent's Poipo. He attacks with Lucario, we both land our wide attacks, and unfortunately for him, I knock him out. I try to attack again, but he switches with his Zoroark, and I'm able to land Curse once again. So I attack, hoping I get lucky, and I knock him out. My opponent just loses hope and immediately forfeits the match. Now moving on to my next match. I'm going up against another Rush deck, this time a bit different. He's using 2 Ghost Pokemon, which is really good for me because it works out better when I'm using Phantom Sphere. So I start off by moving Lucario towards my goal, as my opponent is getting ready to take my second entry point, which I decide to prevent because I noticed that he's running Pokemon Switch and I don't want him switching out his Marshadow for a non-Ghost Pokemon. If he would have taken my second entry with Keldeo Resolute form, that would have completely blocked me out from bringing any of my Pokemon out onto the field. So it's always good to look at your opponent's plates. That way you're never really caught off guard. It only takes a couple of seconds. Alright, so now that I was able to survive the initial rush, I'm finally able to bring out all of my Pokemon onto the field and start moving forward. Okay, so my opponent double chances his Lunala against my Fracture and lands Moongeist Beam. And that forces me to move Marshadow out of the way so he doesn't get surrounded. He then goes after my Lucario, but luckily I land Aura Sphere against Lunala's White attack and knock her right out. Once again I have the advantage in the match, and now I continue to press forward again, and I go for that surround on Lucario. So now my opponent takes my other entry and manages to bench my Banette, and this is bad. So I max revive Drifloon and I forget to use Molting Energy. I didn't have enough time because I knew the Poke Switch was coming. So I attacked DOS and thankfully my opponent didn't switch with Zoroark. I do manage to knock him out and I get that Evo, which is again incredible. So he attacks me and my opponent is just not getting any rolls right now. Alright, so I go after Lucario, managed to knock him out, but I really wanted to land takeaway, so I'm just gonna keep attacking all of his Pokemon until I do. Seems like a good strategy anyways. I know there's a lot of people that think takeaway is broken, and I guess it sort of is. It gives you a really unfair advantage. But there's a few counters to it, such as Grass Sphere, and but who even uses Grass Mons anymore, right? There's also Sableye or Mew, which are pretty effective. They can wall Drifloon pretty easily, so if you're having any trouble dealing with takeaway, I think about using any of those 2 Pokemon. Alright, so back to the match. Right here, he attacks my Marshadow with Zoroark, and luckily I'm able to knock him out. I advance forward, take his entry point. He goes after my Banette with Lucario, and I imprison his attack. And I go Mega Banette and go after his DOS on the goal, hoping to knock it out, and that would give me the win right there. Instead, I managed to curse it. It isn't bad, but it's not the move I was hoping for. So he attacks me with Mega Lucario and I knock him out. And now I take his other entry point. Alright, so this match is coming to an end. He goes after my Marshadow with Resolute form, lands his blue attack and moves next to his goalie. He attacks my Marshadow once again, but isn't able to land the roll he needs, and that's game, guys. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Right now I have a booster box opening that I had, which I pulled some really cool stuff. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy that, and that's it for this video. Later, guys.